All right, another day's in the books, guys, and let me tell you, the stock market had a very nice green day today. The S&P went up over 0.5%. The Dow went up, let's see, 0.6, as QQQ and the Russell each went up 0.75%. So in this video, guys, you guessed it, we're going to break down some stocks. Hey, go figure, right? Go over the charts, break down some earnings today. We have 5 companies to cover, all of which reported earnings. So yeah, let's dive into it, man. Hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, join the Patreon for my portfolio updates, my private Discord. I actually posted an update today. We're making some changes in that Patreon portfolio, guys. So if you want to be a part of it, check it out. Link down below, also pinned in the comments, or go to stassurfs.com/Patreon. And now, cheers. We got that, body armor on deck today. Cheers. I appreciate you all for tuning in as always. And now let's get into it. So, green day across the board, can't complain, right? And the S&P, which we were talking about this, a couple days ago, is now trading at the top of this channel, right? So we were calling it out here, SPY, when it was at 675, 676, when it was at the bottom of this channel, and now boom, we're at 688. We're up over 2% from the low, and clearly we're back over these moving averages on the 4-hour chart. And QQQ, if I pull this up, is not breaking out yet, but we are also above these moving averages. We bounced off the bottom of the wedge here like we called out, and now we're up off that low about 2.25%. Very good. But again, we're not fully breaking out yet, which I think is coming. We just got to be patient, but we're heading in the right direction, right? QQQ closed over 620 today, and SPY closed up over, let's see, 688, up 0.5%. Again, trading at the top of this channel. And if SPY takes out 695, guys, 700, it's going to be blue, clear skies ahead, at least in my opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think? But yeah, silver, 4% green day. Gold, 2%. Gold's about to hit 5,000 an ounce, guys, which is insane if you think about it. Each time I see gold, I don't know why, but I think of Peter Schiff. You guys, a lot of you probably know Peter Schiff. He's this guy that is a gold bug. He's heavy in precious metals. He has a bunch of gold, silver stocks. And this guy has been slamming the table since, forever, right? I started listening to him, watching him. Really, I found out about him in 2020, I think. And he's been screaming gold 5,000 since that point. He's been saying silver is going to go up, all these mining stocks. And he was wrong for a couple years, and again, this guy's been around for a long time. I just found him, 6 years ago, whatever. And he was wrong for a while, but my goodness, is he having his day in the sun right now. And it's been quite the trade, right? The metals trade. But we're not going to talk about that in this video. Shout out to Peter Schiff, though, man. Again, I started watching him in 2020. I don't watch him anymore, really, quite frankly. But I'm curious to see what he has to say nowadays. But yeah. Wow, the metals, man. Unfreaking believable. And I got to be honest, man. Peter Schiff, he kind of put me on to buying some gold coins. 6 years ago, I was like, hey, this guy might be onto something. I'm not a gold bug, obviously, but I was like, yeah, let me get some gold in the portfolio. And I think at the time it was trading at 1,500 an ounce, 1,700 an ounce when I was buying those coins. And yeah, now we're at 5K. So here we are, man. Here we are. So I don't want to get too sidetracked there on gold, but yeah, what a freaking run gold and silver have seen. Unbelievable. So let's dive into some earnings now. Intel went ballistic heading into earnings. You guys know INTC, it was up 45% year to date heading into earnings. Not in the last year, not in the last 5 years, right? Intel was up 45% this year heading into the report. This doesn't take a rocket scientist to look at this chart and tell you it's priced to perfection. Earnings have to be a grand slam for this thing to go higher, right? It doesn't take some kind of rocket scientist to tell you that. And at this point, it's tanking, right? We closed at 54, 55 a share today. And I made a video on this on TikTok earlier, and Instagram, Facebook. Follow me. All those are linked down below, guys. I made a video saying, be careful with Intel. Earnings are after the bell. It's priced to perfection. Be careful. And here we are. Intel is tanking. So earnings per share adjusted came in at 0 cents, literally, versus the 5 cents expected on sales. Or no, that's their guidance, rather. Excuse me, guys. No, let's come down here. Okay, no, I stand corrected. Adjusted EPS, 15 cents. That beat the 8 cents expected. Sales, $13.67 billion versus $13.37. So double beat out of Intel. But for guidance, they see 0 cents for Q1 versus the 5 cents expected, so pretty much break even. They expect, and sales, they see 11.7 to 12.7 billion versus 12.5 billion expected. So there you have it. There you have it. I mean, the stock's falling on poor guidance. It is what it is. That's normal, especially when the stock's up 45% in the first 3 weeks of the year. That is just unreal to me, guys. So am I surprised this is selling off? Heck no. I predicted it. I saw it coming, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see this one coming, right? So at this point, you know, it might trickle down a little bit more, who knows, into the mid-high 40s. That's where I'd be watching it potentially. For buyers to start coming in, maybe the trend continues. We'll see. Although I'm not looking to buy the dip personally, I got to be honest with you guys. But it does look strong. It does look strong. The trend is there. But for me, it's still a little too hot. I'm not comfortable buying at these elevated prices. And you want to hear something nuts, guys? Intel is still not above the highs from the dot-com bubble. That blows my mind. Every time I think of Intel, I look at the max chart and I see that in 99, 98, 2000, the stock hit $75 a share, and now we're at 55. Think about that. Think about that for a second. So that's Intel. Capital One also reported earnings, which you guys know Capital One, everything going on there with credit cards, President Trump putting that 10% cap, which is never going to go through. That's never going to happen. That's just a midterm play. Let's keep it real. But at this point, man, Capital One did take a hit from that. The stock hit 260 earlier in the year. Now we're at what? 233, 235. And may I add, we are maintaining 230, 225 as support, which 225, that was resistance all throughout the end of June, July, August, September, October, right into the early days of December. So the fact that we are maintaining that as support, that's a good sign. But we got to get the confirmation of a bounce, which we're not getting yet. And listen, man, this is the type of stock, the second Trump backs down on that 10%, or he won't back down, but the second, Congress fires it down or whatever, right? It's not going to go through. That's going to cause this stock to rebound like crazy. And of course, it could front run the move, if the stock gets feelings that, or if the stock kind of gets the word that, it's not going to go through, we get some more clarity around that. It might start running before we get the official ruling. Who knows? But at this point, Capital One, they reported earnings per share. Let's see here, guys. Where is it? Where the heck are these numbers? Come on. Am I blind or what? Let's see here, guys. Earnings per share came in. Oh my gosh, where are they? $3.26 per share. Looks like revenue came in at net income was $2.1 billion. Revenue came in at $15.58 billion. So I'm not seeing what the estimates were, but it looks like they missed on EPS, 386 versus the 411 expected, and sales beat 15.58 versus 15.48 billion. So not too bad. I guess they did miss EPS. That's not the best. But again, I think the second we get the ruling that that's not going to go through, or the stock gets an inkling that the ruling is coming, that it won't go through, I think the stock's going to rebound. Ultimately, the bulls are still in charge. The trend looks great. Watch it. COF. We also had earnings out of ISRG today, which is Intuitive Surgical, and this stock is up, it looks like here, about $15 a share in the aftermarket. Or is it? Wait, no, we had a red candle down. No, we recovered. So it is trading up about 3% after the bell here. So ISRG reported earnings per share adjusted for Q4 of $2.53 versus $2.26 expected on sales. Let's see, $2.86 billion versus $2.74 billion. So double beat out of ISRG. And it looks like they see 2026 impact from tariffs, 1.2% of revenue. They see 2026 adjusted gross profit margin of 67 to 68%. Not bad. Anything else on guidance? They see 2026 worldwide Da Vinci procedure growth of 13 to 15%. Pretty good. So, yeah, the stock sold off a little bit into the report. We can see here it took a little bit of a haircut from 603 down to about 520. Now it's starting to rebound. Again, nice $15 pop in the aftermarket. Let's see if we can retake this spot. Let me show you this on the chart. Then we'll move on. We can see this stock held support at about, 540 for a couple months, couple weeks, and now we're right at 540. We're testing that old support, which is now resistance. We're testing it here. So if we break through 540, this could make a run. 555, 560, maybe higher. So that's what I'm waiting for, right, on ISRG. So I'm going to set my alert at, let's do like 542. For now, mark is that we're above. And by the way, guys, smash that like button. If you're still watching this video, hit that subscribe button, hit the follow button. I appreciate you all for tuning in. And by the way, if you're interested in my portfolio updates, what I'm doing week in, week out in my real portfolio, and you want to be a part of that private Discord, it's all on Patreon. Link down below, or go to stotsurfest.com/Patreon, also pinned in the comments. So Procter and Gamble's been downtrending for like a year at this point? It's been a long time. And it's finally starting to break out now. Ticker PG after earnings came out. I think this morning, or were they yesterday? No, yeah, this morning. So Procter and Gamble had a 2 3/4% green day today, and that's after they reported earnings per share. Let's find this here, guys. Wow, they have a lot of metrics here out of PG. Holy smokes, man! I might have to get my glasses. What's going on here, guys? I can't find, these earnings, but. Yeah, looks like here, okay, adjusted EPS, $1.88. That beat the $1.86, but sales missed, $22.2 billion versus $22.28 billion, so not that bad of a miss. But, yeah, mixed earnings there. Looks like they narrowed their full-year GAAP EPS guidance. Looks like they expect core EPS between 683 to 709 versus 696. Pretty good guidance there. Anything on sales? Not seeing anything on sales, but, oh no, yeah, they affirmed their full year 26 sales guidance of 85.12 to 88.49 billion versus 86.82. So pretty good, guys, out of Procter and Gamble. They affirmed guidance, and the stock was so beaten up, all they really had to do was affirm guidance, beat here, beat there, and that's going to move the stock. And we're finally, for the first time in months now, trading back over these moving averages, finally looking like we might be putting in a reversal, although it's not 100% official yet, but we are seeing the momentum build up on PG. We are, which I like. I'm not in the stock. It's not really in my wheelhouse of stocks. I mean, yeah, I understand Procter and Gamble. I get it. I know all their products, the business, not that hard to understand, but I'm not right now investing in companies like Procter and Gamble. Not hating on them, not saying they're bad investments, bad companies, but for me, I'm more of a growth investor. Procter and Gamble's more, a dividend value stock, especially now that it's down a lot. I'm curious, the valuation of the stock here. But yeah, PG, who knows? Maybe I buy a little bit. Never say never, as it is starting to recover here. And it is beating up on the 3-year chart, and it is actually recovering off that support from back in 2023. There actually might be something here on second thought. But I'm curious to see what the fundamentals look like in terms of, the numbers. But the long-term charts, when in doubt, zoom out. Procter and Gamble looks really good still. This is not a company that it's going to be a value trap where you buy it and it collapses down to 50, 60, $80 a share. That's not what Procter and Gamble is. It's a very strong company. It's got a pretty good moat, strong moat, I would say. And at this point, man, it might be a buy the dip. But again, it's not really my style of investing. It's a more, slower growing company, right? It's one of those. It's a blue chip company. But either way, PG, watch it. It is looking good on the charts. Reversal could be, happening right before our eyes. So last one here, guys, GE. Let's pull it up. GE Aerospace tanked today, 7% down after earnings came out in the morning. So GE reported earnings per share adjusted of $1.57 versus $1.43 expected on sales of, 12.71 versus 11.17. So they actually dominated the headline numbers, double beat. They see full year 26 adjusted EPS of 710 to 740 versus 624. That's really good. Let's see what else. Aerospace. GE Aerospace sees revenue up low double digits for 2026. Not bad. Look, the reality is this one was probably priced to perfection. Look, we were at $338 a share before earnings. We were in the 330s. So, yeah, we were trading at all-time highs on GE, and it was just priced to perfection. It needed a healthy pullback, and now we're getting it. And quite frankly, man, this could easily continue trend here with the sector being as hot as it is, and the uptrend still looks good. Yes, it is a falling knife. We have to wait and see if buyers come in at 285, 290, 295, where we are now. And if they do, this could be a nice continuation play on GE. So that's it, guys. That's it for the video. We're in here, 16, 17, 18 minutes. I appreciate you all for tuning in. And if you stuck till the end, drop some emojis, whether it's a fire emoji, a money emoji, a cow, a freaking chicken, it doesn't matter. Drop an emoji. That lets me know that you stuck till the end. Hit the like button, subscribe, and again, join the Patreon if you want. No pressure. We have the private Discord, my portfolio updates, which I post those literally whenever I do make a move, right? Today I made a big move in the portfolio. Big changes are coming, guys. So if you want to keep up with that, no pressure. It's $10 a month or $20 a month, depending on the tier you pick. It's linked down below, pinned in the comments as well, or go to stasurfs.com/Patreon. And with that being said, cheers. I'll see you all in the next video.